One of my doctors recently told me that she feels like she's in a prison cell. You know how they like check off the days that they've been in there, just like counting them down? Instead, she was marking off how many times her team asks her questions that she thinks they should know the answer to. And she thought the problem was her team. Constant turnover, same questions, same breakdowns. New people come in, and within months, you're right back in the same place. If you've ever felt like that, this is going to hit because this isn't a staffing problem and it's not a training problem. It's how the entire model of care is built. Most of us were trained to believe that best care happens one to one, delivered by a highly trained therapist, customized in real time. And for a long time, that worked. But here's what comes with that model: every therapist develops their own way of doing things. Every patient experience varies. Every decision requires judgment. And over time, that creates inconsistency. So, what do? You step in. It's what we all do. You answer questions, you correct things, you make adjustments all day, every day. And eventually, you feel exactly how she described it, like you're stuck. Not because you don't have help, but because your help depends on you. That's not a people problem, that's a design problem. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear: one to one care is not the gold standard. Consistency is. Because if your outcomes depend on who the therapist is, how they were trained, what decision they make in the moment, then your results will always vary. Consistency is the gold standard. Every time a patient comes in, they should receive the same treatment. They should receive the same quality of care. And that doesn't mean that they need to be in your office. Every time they have a virtual session, every time they have a call with your team, every time they interact with your office, they should receive consistency. That's what real quality looks like. It's the same standard every time, the same experience, regardless of who delivers it. The same outcome pathway, clearly defined. That's what patients actually need. Not personality, not variability, structure. And yes, personality, I get. Everyone has their own people that they gel with, and there's people that certain therapists, it's like you're in the exam room and you're like, okay, you need to see Jen. She is the one who's gonna like be able to deal with all that you have going on. I get it. However, Jen is still going to give the same care as Sarah. They're still going to do the same exercises. They're still going to modify them the same way. They're still going to load and unload the same way because it's your care that they're delivering. It's your brain that they're delivering. It's not, kind of on a whim. That's not how we're delivering consistent care because that cannot be the gold standard. It cannot be the gold standard that Sarah is going to treat a patient differently than Jen, who's going to treat a patient differently than Mike. That's not consistent care. That's not the sort of practice that actually can scale. That's not the sort of practice that can live on beyond you. That's the sort of practice that needs you, because when you're walking past Sarah's session, you're like, oh wait, you should change this, and oh wait, you should do this, and Mike does it this way, and blah 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 blah, and there you are, still back in the middle of everything. That's not what we want. We need patient consistency. And here's why it matters for staffing. If your system depends on individual people, then every time someone leaves, you lose part of your system. You retrain, you rebuild, you start over. That's exhausting. But if your system is structured, then people step into it. They don't create it, they don't reinvent it, they follow it. And suddenly, turnover doesn't break your practice. This is where care starts to scale, because now your expertise is built into the system. Your team executes instead of improvising. Your patients get consistent results. And you're no longer in that prison cell answering every question. In the next episode, we're going to talk about something that changes everything once you understand this: why patients don't actually care about your diagnosis and what they're really looking for instead. So if you liked this, subscribe and stay tuned for the next one. Let's get building.